That's weird. Hello and welcome back. I am so glad you're here. Today I'm going to talk about my 2025 goals overall in my little reading life. So, I don't know. I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. I never really feel it too much, but I don't know. I just really kind of wanted to focus on things that were super, I think, attainable, but still will be fun to have accomplished. So, let's get into it. So the first one is that I really want to participate in like more readathons and like reading sprints on YouTube. I've actually been already doing good at this one. As you might have seen my last video, I've participated in the Winterween Readathon that is hosted by Gabby Reads, and I vlogged it. I haven't done great at it, but I have participated, which is cool. I've, making the videos, and on the Discord, I've been talking a little bit and watching her reading sprints, so I feel pretty good about that. And happy that I've just started trying to be part of a community a little more. I definitely plan to do more of that throughout the year. I have sort of hosted readathons in the past, but nothing super like organized, or I don't know. I've never been bold enough to host like a reading sprint session myself. So maybe that's something that I want to focus on this year. We will see. The next thing that I want to do is hit 5,000 subscribers. And this right now it seems like a really big goal and like really hard to get to. But I think that, in the last like 6 months, I've come a long way, more than I think I expected. So right now I'm sitting at around like 3,100-ish. And so it's definitely doable, considering that last year I went from like 600 to like, I don't know, 2,500. So I think it's doable. I think that would just be really cool to see. I feel like that's the point where I'll be like, am I a thing? People like my videos? Wow. I would like to read one nonfiction book every month. And I feel like I mostly already do this, but I would like to like be intentional about reading a nonfiction book every month. This month I've actually already read a couple that I will tell you all about in a like wrap-up video. But yeah, it's not something that is super hard. I tend to read a little bit of nonfiction anyways, and I just want to like make sure I'm doing it. Some months I tend to read more fiction, but I would say most months I read more fiction. But just, yeah, being intentional about reading one nonfiction book every single month. I would also like to read 4 to 6 classics. So this is a goal that I have had in past years, which was more like read a classic every month, which I just realized was not for me. Like, that's not a feasible goal because I just generally have a hard time with them, and it makes me kind of feel bad about it. I feel like I'm not like smart, or like, why can't I read this? And so it kind of just gets me down. So this year I really just want to focus on finding like a couple of classics that I really like. So I'm starting with Great Expectations, which is my dad's favorite book ever. So it's definitely like sentimental to me, and totally not sponsored, but it's been really helpful to use the serial reader app that I have mentioned before. I will post the video up here that I talk about it. So, it sends you just a little bit every day to get you to read a classic. So that's very cool. I do have a copy of the entire book, but I'm not putting so much pressure on myself to like sit down and read it. Just those little bits every day is definitely how I kind of foresee myself reading 4 to 6 classics. I don't know what else I want to kind of read. So if you have like a favorite classic, please let me know what it is. I definitely could use some suggestions. Another one that I have sort of had here for several years is I would like to get my NetGalley review rate up to 80%, which is like what they recommend. And for the past like at least 18 months, I've been sitting at about like 76 to 79, like somewhere in there. And so I just want to kind of get it up to 80 and like leave it there. I end up getting a lot of widgets, so sometimes I will go into it, and I think I've been more careful about accepting widgets that I maybe don't know if I want to read yet. I mean, obviously it's going to happen. There's going to be stuff that I just don't have time to read, or I decide later that I don't want to read. But I feel like I have been better at it, and I just need to write reviews. I think I mentioned this at some point in another video, but I have read like 6 books on my NetGalley that I never wrote reviews for, and now I don't remember enough to write a review. So that's a problem. So I need to get back to writing reviews right after, because that's really frustrating, because I'm sure that I would have over an 80% if I just had reviews to post, even though I read the books. And the last one that I'm working forward to working on this year is I would like to post on Instagram at least once a week. I feel like I've become very consumed with YouTube, and I mean, to be honest, it's just something that I've been enjoying more in recent months. So I've kind of neglected my Instagram, but I do want to get more into like balancing my energy a little more, because Bookstagram is like where I started with all of my like bookish social media. I have so many friends over there, and I feel like I end up looking at everyone's stories and I scroll and scroll, but like I don't actually post stuff of my own. And since my Instagram is the reason like a lot of publishers send me books and stuff, even if I end up talking about them on YouTube, that's why I got them. So I want to be able to still like use that as like my main platform for like reviews. You know, I feel like I have a lot of fun on YouTube, but I don't do book reviews generally, every now and then. So yeah, I just think that that would be a good goal. And honestly, I have so much content just like ready that I'm just so like lazy or just like disenchanted, because Instagram's algorithm makes no sense to me these days, and I can't figure out why no one sees my posts. Or maybe they just don't like them, I guess. But I used to have people that liked them, so hopefully it's just that they're not seeing them. So we'll see. But as with anything in social media, consistency is key. So I know that that lack of consistency is certainly not helping me on that. So those are my bookish and YouTube and Bookstagram goals for 2025. I think these are all things that are super attainable and still gonna provide me with enough of a challenge. So I wanna know what your goals are for 2025, if you have any, or if you're just kind of winging it. Let me know in the comments, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, please. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!